So it's perfect timing. It is Saturday, and I just finished reading through Romans yesterday. I think that was my first time ever really going through Romans from start to finish and really being present and studying it. Amazing book. Man, I want to just start rereading it again. I might do it. But I want to kind of recap it in this video, what I learned just this time. I'm obviously going to go through this hopefully like a million times in my lifetime, but this is kind of the first. I want to talk about what stood out to me this time. So the major topics that I saw in Romans that Paul talks about is first humility. Next would be flesh versus your spirit. Then law, like versus grace. God's will and his elect. Being justified through faith. And then working from grace and gratitude, not out of just like justification. So yeah, those are kind of major topics. And I see that Paul really talks about humility to God and humility to man. That's kind of a theme throughout it. It's like the actions that show us as a mark of a true Christian is really just stems from humility. So really seeking to understand, seeking peace, not making decisions based off pride or thinking that we're better than anyone. Like that's having that posture like of your heart, I guess, is going to lead us to the right decisions that we should make as Christians and to look like Jesus, right? And then the next one is saved by grace alone. Like that's kind of a big theme throughout the whole book is God has saved us through grace. There's nothing we did. There's nothing we can do. It's not by law, it's not by anything. It's saved by grace, like through faith. It's like our faith in Jesus and the grace he gave us is the only reason we are saved. And the only reason God allowed us to see that is through grace. So it's really just, there's nothing we could do. Like it's just God has chosen to save us. And that's that. Like we deserve death. And that could be kind of tough to realize that why like some bad things happen. But the reason why bad things happen is because that's what we deserve. Like that's what's fair. And the only reason why good things happen is just because of grace. The other one is like dead to flesh and walking in spirit. It's like we are still in our fleshly bodies as long as we're on this earth. We're still in our flesh. And we have to decide every day whether we want to give in to the desires of the flesh and decide to walk in flesh, which leads to death, or walk in the spirit, which leads to life. And so this has been a big one for me. Like I've been praying a lot that God, fill me with your spirit. Help me to walk in the spirit. Help me to just die to the flesh. And, when we trust in Jesus, then we die in the flesh and are raised in the spirit through him. And so we have to walk in that and really choose to walk in the spirit and not to just give in to anger, greed, pride, lust, all of these things that our flesh wants so bad. The next is be discerning and above reproach. Towards the back half of Romans, it really seemed like Paul was trying to plead with these people like, hey, just please be discernment or have discernment, be wise, think through things and be above reproach. Like even though some things are not inherently unclean, like if people see it that way, then be above reproach, and abide by the law that you're in, like respect authorities, all these things that we should just do to pretty much like go above and beyond, like just be innocent in anyone's eyes that you can, Obviously people are going to hate us and persecute you. That's just what people do, but you do all you can do to be above reproach. And then another one was forgive as you have been forgiven. That's a huge theme I saw through this book as well. It's like, it's tough to not go eye for an eye, but he's saying forgive and do not repay evil with evil. And that's tough. That's really tough, I feel like. We're saying forgive as Jesus forgave us. We didn't deserve it. Other people won't deserve it either. And that's fine. We need to forgive them because that's what Jesus did. And then the last one is be present and aware in spirit. I think this applies a lot to our generation because everyone is so ingrained in their own world these days with technology and really just technology. I mean, it allows us to just pretty much like say, all right, screw everybody else. I'm just going to sit on my phone. It's so easy to just log out pretty much, and it's tough. But I think we're called to be present with the people we're around and to be aware in the spirit of what's going on and right in front of our face. So yeah, that was the recap that I learned from Romans. It'd be interesting to see what I see the next time I go through it, in a year from now, whenever. And yeah, hopefully you guys learned something. Great book. You should go read it, of course, like every book in the Bible. And see you guys later.